Hello everyone, hope you are all doing well. Myself Kajal, faculty from ZETA IAS. Today in this class, we'll study about GS1 examination, what strategy you have to follow in GS1 examination, and also we do some PYQ analysis also. So let's begin the class. So GS1, in GS1 examination, there is a history, there is a society, and there is a geography. We see one by one syllabus of all subject, history, society and geography. Also do some PYQ analysis, and on the basis of PYQ analysis, we will have some themes. Also, we see changing trend of PYQ from past 10 years. Also, what sources you have to follow for society, history and geography as well. And what's the right approach to deal with the GS1 examination. So let's jump into history part. History has 5 subdivisions. First one is art and culture. Second one is ancient and medieval. Third one is modern history, post-independence and world history. So these two, art and culture and ancient medieval, both have interlinkage. Means you have to study these two subjects simultaneously. So let's go to the type of questions that has been asked by UPSC in history portion. So there are 5 type of question that has been asked by UPSC in history part. One was the static question like Pala architecture, Chola architecture, IVC, Battle of Panipat. So this is static part. Links to today relevance. In history, there is also one type of question that has been like Mahatma Gandhi thoughts on today's relevance. Also, personality like M.K. Gandhiji was asked so many times. Recently, Rabindranath Tagore and M.K. Gandhiji. Quote-based and slogan-based question was also asked in 2018. Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan. And application-based question. So these 5 type of question that has been asked by UPSC in history question. Now art and culture. If we see the syllabus of UPSC for art and culture, UPSC gave one-liner syllabus for art and culture. What it says? Indian culture, social aspect of art form, literature and architecture from ancient to modern times. So, three things. One is art form. Second is literature. And third one is architecture. So these 3 things, art form, literature and architecture, from where to where? From ancient to modern part. So let's do some PYQ analysis of art and culture part. Like in 2023, question was on geographical factor towards the development of ancient India. So one is asked for geographical factor. Other one, what are the main feature of Vedic society and religion Do you think some of the features are still prevalent in Indian society? So, Vedic society and culture, and religion. So, Vedic society and religion is asked. What were the major technological changes introduced during the Sultanate period, and how did those technological changes influence the Indian society? In 2022, question was on the medieval Indian temple sculpture. So question asked on temple sculpture. Discuss the significance of lion and bull figures in the Indian mythology, art and architecture. Again question on lion and bull figures in architecture. In 2020, rock-cut architecture represent one of the most important source of our knowledge of every Indian art and history, early Indian art and history. So what is rock-cut architecture? Pala period is the most significant phase in the history of Buddhism. So Pala period and Buddhism. Again, Indian philosophy and tradition play a significant role in shaping the monuments and their art in India discussed. So question is on Indian philosophy and how Indian philosophy shaping the monument and their art in India. Question was on Persian literary source of medieval India reflect the spirit of the age. In 2018, question is on Indian art heritage. Safeguarding the Indian art heritage is the need of the moment. Importance of the account of Chinese and Arab travelers in reconstruction of the history. The Bhakti movement received a remarkable reorientation with the advent of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Discuss. In 2017, how do you justify the view that the level of excellence of Gupta numismatic arts is not at all noticeable in later times? Examine how the decline of traditional artisanal industry in colonial India crippled the rural economy. So now, we see 2023, 2022, 2020, 2018, 2017 questions. So, in art and culture part, one second. So, in art and culture, three things are there. One is miscellaneous also. One is art form. So if we analyze the PYQ, what has been asked by UPSC? Pala art. So if UPSC asks Pala art, you have to also prepare Gandhara art. Mathura art. Question is on Gupta numismatic art. Cholas art. If we see the architecture part, Gupta's architecture was asked. Chola's architecture was asked. Chalukya's was asked. Vijayanagar is very important topic for art and culture. Sangam architecture was asked. So you have to prepare all this. Literature part. So Sangam literature asked. Persian literature asked. Sufi literature was also asked by UPSC. So these broader themes that we analyze from PYQs. IVC, Gupta Age and Architecture, Vijayanagar, Pala, Cholas, Chalukyas and Sangam art, Buddhism, Jainism, Stupa, Gandhara, Mathura art, Indian philosophy, Persian literature, dancer and traveler. So if dancers and travelers are been asked by UPSC, then music is also important thing. So these broader 5 to 7 themes are there. So these themes are there. On these themes, you have to prepare notes. So now let's see the trend of art and culture questions. In 2014, 50 marks are allotted to art and culture part. In 2019, only 10 marks are allotted to art and culture part. And from past 2 to 3 years, 40 to 50 marks are allotted to art and culture part. So on an average, 3 questions are being asked by UPSC in 2022, 23 and 24 as well. So now came to sources. What sources you have to follow for art and culture? So the best source is +1 Fine Art, NCERT and Nitin Singhania selectively. Selectively means you have to do some chapter from Nitin Singhania like architecture, literature, paintings, dance, music. So now what's the right approach to deal with art and culture, as art and culture is very complex subject, especially in mains. So what you have to do? Read ancient, medieval and art and culture simultaneously. Suppose if you are doing Vedic culture, Vedic period. Suppose in art and ancient part, you are doing Vedic period. So simultaneously you have to do Vedic literature, Vedic architecture, Vedic art, paintings, so all Vedic culture. Like in 2024, question was on Vedic period. How religion and society of early Vedic period changes to later Vedic period, or what are the that changes in society and religion from early Vedic period to later Vedic period. So in 2024, question was asked by UPSC on Vedic period. Now make theme-wise notes. So these 8 to 9 themes, you have to make notes broadly and holistically. If questions are there from like miscellaneous question are also asked by UPSC, so how to handle that question? Miscellaneous questions. So in miscellaneous question, these questions are difficult for everyone. So how to handle this question? In this question, your prelims knowledge is more than enough. If you have 3 or 4 points, then you are able to write art and culture answer. Also, use diagram, use temple structure diagrams, stupas, map, flow chart in your answer to enhance your art and culture answer. Now came to modern history part. So let's see the syllabus of modern history. Modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present. Significant event, personalities, issues. So 3 things are there: event, personality, and issues. Then the freedom struggle, its various stages, and important contributors and contribution from different part of the country. So there are 5 subparts. One is events, second one personalities, third is issues, fourth is various stages, and fifth one is contributions. So you have to prepare notes on these 5 categories. One is event, personalities, issues, various stages, and contribution. Now see the PYQs. So in 2019, question was on direct revolt of 1857. Then many voices has strengthened and enriched the nationalist movement. So nationalist movement during the Gandhian phase. So question was on Gandhian phase. Examine the linkage between 19th century's Indian Renaissance and the emergence. In 2020, question was on directly Lord Curzon and their long-term implication on national movement. Since the 1920s, the national movement acquired various ideological strands and expanded its social base discussed. So question on 1920s national movement. In 2021, question was on trace the rise and growth of socio-religious movement with special reference to young Bengal and Brahmo Samaj. Assess the main administrative issues and socio-cultural problems. So question on administration issues and socio-cultural problem in the integration process of Indian princely states. In 2022, why did the armies of Bengal East India Company, mostly comprising of Indian soldiers, win consistently against a more numerous and better equipped army of the then Indian ruler? That how British East India Company comprises of Indian soldiers win consistently against the more numerous and better equipped armies of the then Indian ruler. So here comparison between the British East India soldiers and Indian rulers soldiers. Why was there a sudden spurt in famine in colonial India since the mid 18th century? Give reason. In 2023, question was, what was the difference between Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore in their approach towards education and nationalism? How did the colonial rule affect the tribals in India, and what was the tribal response to the colonial operation? So question was on tribal uprising. So now, what you have to study? So first in event part. Event from when to when? From middle of the 18th century till present. So middle of the 18th century. So you have to cover through Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, 1857, formation of INC, then Surat split, then partition. So these events, you have to make notes on this event till today. Second, personalities. So British Governor Generals, question asked on Lord Curzon. So all British Governor General. Second, Indian freedom fighters. So Mahatma Gandhi ji was asked so many times by UPSC. So you have to go through every freedom fighter like Subhash Chandra Bose, Rabindranath Tagore and prepare 5 to 6 points. Third, issues. Economic policies of Britishers. Issues of land, issue of tribal. So these issues you have to prepare. Fourth, various stages. So various stages in freedom struggle, like Gandhian stage, extremist stage, revolutionary stage, mid 1920s, mid 80s. So these various stages you also have to prepare. Now fifth one is contribution. So contribution of women in freedom struggle, contribution of foreigners in freedom struggle, continuation of contribution of tribals in freedom struggle, contributions of revolutionary terrorism. So these 5 broader themes you have to prepare. So in revolutionaries part, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, INA, HSRA. In peasant and tribal movements, so these important movements. Role of women and minorities in freedom movement, early reforms, social reform movements, Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, Aligarh movements, these important movements. Education, role of education, press, literature, British policies and reactions, and revolt of 1857. So these 7 to 8 themes and sub themes. So this you have to prepare for modern history part. Now, what sources you have to follow? So there is one source, Spectrum. Spectrum is very good source for modern history part, and selectively Bipin Chandra you also have to follow. Some chapters, some examples you have to take from Bipin Chandra book. So what's the approach? Also integrate some regional histories also, like Northeast, South India. Focus on event, personalities and timeline, and make these theme-wise notes. Now jump to post-independence part. So post-independence part, on post-independence on 2022, 23, 24, there is no question has been asked by UPSC from post-independence part. So post-independence has very less weightage. On an average, 1 or 2 questions are asked by UPSC. So what's the syllabus? So syllabus, post-independence consolidation and reorganization within the country. So 2 things. One is consolidation. Second is reorganization. Reorganization of state, post-independence, consolidation. Now, let's see the PYQs. In 2020, question was on the political and administrative reorganization of state and territories has been a continuous ongoing process since the mid-19th century, discussed with example. In 2018, question was on throw light on the significance of thought of Mahatma Gandhi in the present time. Discuss whether formation of new state, again formation of new state in recent time is beneficial or not for the economy of India. So, what are the important themes in post-independence? One is integration of princely state. Second, reorganization of state. Third, personalities contribution. Fourth, slogan-based question. Fifth, war after independence, China war, Pakistan war. Land reforms, foreign influence on independent India, official language, and green revolution. So this is more than enough for post independence, but you have to do make notes on these things. So sources for post independence: politics in India, NCRT, or any compilation. For post independence. So what's the approach? Give maximum 3-4 days only, not more than 3-4 days. Less weightage, you all know that post independence have very less weightage, and prepare these 7-8 themes holistically. Now came world history part. So in world history, average 2 questions are asked. In 2024 also 2 questions are from the world history part. So see the syllabus of world history. History of the world, which will include events from 18th century such as Industrial Revolution, World War, redrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, political philosophy like communism, capitalism, socialism, etc., and their forms and effect on the society. So, Industrial Revolution, World War, redrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, philosophies, communism, socialism, and capitalism, and their effect on the society. So these keywords are given by UPSC. Now see the PYQs. First theme is colonization and decolonization. So question: what were the major political, economic and social developments in the world which motivated the anti-colonial struggle in India? Okay, question was on anti-colonial struggle in India. The anti-colonial struggle in West Africa. So anti-colonial struggle in India in 2016. So this was in 2014. In 2016, question was on anti-colonial struggle in West Africa. In 2017, what problems were germane to the decolonization process in Malay Peninsula? So in 2017, colonial struggle on Malay Peninsula. What was the sudden spur in famine in colonial India since the mid-18th century? In Now on revolutions. So question asked on American Revolution. Explain how the foundation of the modern world were laid by the American and French Revolution. So American Revolution, French Revolution and Industrial Revolution. So these three that has been asked by UPSC again and again. See, in 2013 question was asked on Industrial Revolution in Japan. Africa was chopped into states artificially created by accident of European competition. Analyze. How did the Industrial Revolution first occur in England? Discuss the quality of life of the people there during the industrialization and how does it compare with that? And how does it compare with that in India at present in 2050? So, Industrial Revolution of England. Now, philosophies. So, in 2014, question was asked on Swiss crisis in 1956. In 2013, what policy instruments were deployed to contain the Great Economic Depression? The new economic policy 1921 of Lenin influenced the policies adopted by India soon after independence. Evaluate. And on World War, to what extent can Germany be held responsible for causing the two World War? Discuss critically. Second question, they approach a serious challenge to the So, they across a serious challenge to the democratic state system between the two world wars. Evaluate the statement. So, broader 5 things are there. One is colonization and decolonization. So, questions are there on India anti-colonial struggle. West Africa anti-colonial struggle and Malay Peninsula. Malay Peninsula struggle. So these 3 anti-colonial struggle that has been asked by UPSC. Now, South Africa and South America, you also have to prepare. Second theme, is French and American Revolution. So, Industrial Revolution, French Revolution and American Revolution. So, these 3 topics you have to prepare notes. Now, next theme, Industrial Revolution. Next is philosophies. So, communism, capitalism and socialism. So, on this you have to make notes. And their impact on society. World War 1 and 2. And major events also. Major events that have happened in between World War 1 and World War 2. So, some miscellaneous questions are also asked by UPSC, like question on Great Economic Depression and Swiss crisis in 1956. and the new economic policy 1921 of Lenin. So these three topics also you have to prepare notes. Now, what are the sources? So, Arjun Dev Old NCERT is more than enough for world history. Now came the society part. See, society is very complex subject. So you have to interlink both things, current and static portion. So, society, current part plus static part and interlinkage also. So you have to develop interlinkage process in your mind while answering society answers. So on an average, society have in paper 6 to 7 questions are asked from society part. 8, 9, 10 and 18, 19, 20. So these numbers are also fixed by UPSC. In GS1 paper, 8th, 9th and 10th question and 18, 19 and 20th question are from society. So in society, repeated value of questions are very high. So now see the syllabus of society. So what UPSC says, first, salient feature of Indian society and diversity of India. Second, role of women and women organization, population and associated issues, poverty and development issues, urbanization and their problem and their remedies. Now, effect of globalization on Indian society, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism. So, first is salient feature of Indian society. Second one is diversity of India. Third is role of women and women organization. Population and associated issues. This is fourth one. Poverty and development issues. This is fifth one. Urbanization and their problems and their remedies. Globalization on Indian society. Then social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism. Now, see the questions. In 2023, do you think marriage as a sacrament in losing its value in modern India? So, question is on marriage. Explain why suicide among young women is increasing in Indian society. So, current plus static. Child cuddling is now being replaced by mobile phones. Discuss its impact on socialization of children. So question on how child cuddling is replaced by mobile phones and how discuss its impact on socialization of children. Why did human development fail to keep pace with the economic development? So how human development and economic development, why did human development fail to keep pace with economic development? Does urbanization lead to more segregation and more marginalization of the poor in the Indian metropolises? How urbanization led to more segregation or marginalization? Why is caste identity in India both fluid and static? Discuss the impact of post-liberal economy on ethnic identity and communalism. So first question on marriage. Second was on the suicide among young women. Third was a child cuddling. is being replaced by mobile phones and their impact on the socialization of children. How did human development fail to keep pace with the economic development? Then question on urbanization, how urbanization led to more marginalization and segregation. How is caste identity in India both fluid and static? Discuss the impact of post-liberal economy on ethnic identity and communalism. In 2022, explore and evaluate the impact of work from home. So, you have to write impact of work from home on family relationship. How is the growth of tier 2 cities related to the rise of a new middle class with an emphasis on the culture of a consumption? Given the diversities among tribal community in India, in which specific context should they be considered as a single category? Analyze the salience of sect in Indian society vis-a-vis caste, region and religion. Are tolerance, assimilation and pluralism the key element in making of an Indian form of secularism? Justify your answer. So now, see the changing trend of UPSC. In 2013, one second. See, in 2013, 3 questions are from society part. One was on regionalism, communalism, and one was on poverty. In 2014, 3 questions are from society part. One is urbanization, second one is on secularism, and third one on diversity. In 2015, question was on regional aspiration, caste identity. In 2016, 2 questions are from society. One was women issues and social empowerment. In 2017, secularism, again repeated topic. Urban-rural divide, again repeated topic, and communalism. In 2018, caste, again. In 2015, caste inequality, again on 2018, caste. Women empowerment, again, and regionalism. In 2019, again regionalism, again social empowerment. In 2020, diversity, again, see, globalization impact on women and caste in politics. And in 2021, urbanization, again, role of women in society, again. So see, there this regionalism, say these are the broader themes that you have to cover. Diversity and pluralism, family and marriage, population and associated issues, poverty and development issues, women and associated issues, urbanization problem and remedies, globalization, caste system, communalism, regionalism, secularism, social empowerment. So on this topic, you have to make your notes. Suppose you are making notes on globalization. So suppose this is your first page and you are making notes on globalization. So first, write PYQs that has been asked by UPSC on globalization. Now, write subtopics like globalization and women, globalization and migration, globalization and poverty. So write all subtopics here. Globalization and poverty, globalization and migration, globalization and technology, globalization and poverty, women. So on next page, now here globalization. So here women, globalization and women, write 5, 6, 7 points. Here globalization and poverty, write here 4, 5, 7, 6 points and examples. Migration, technology. So in this way you have to make notes on each themes. Now what sources you have to follow? So for society, class 12th NCERT, Indian society, both NCERT, Indian society and social change, both you have to follow for society part. And also any PDF that you like for value addition. Now let's take an example. See, role of women are asked in GS1 also, GS2 also, GS3 also and GS4 also. So now, if role of women came in GS1 also, then how you will think? Suppose role of women came in GS1, role of women in freedom struggle. Role of women in globalization. Role of women in poverty elimination. So in this way, role of women is asked in GS1 examination. Now came on GS2. So role of women in Panchayati Raj. Role of women in political representation. If role of women asked in GS3 subject, so role of women in care economy. Role of women in agriculture. Role of women in economic development. Now in GS4, feminization of ethics. Role of women in AI ethics. So in this way, you have to develop an interlinking process in your mind. And if question asked on GS1, then how you will think. If GS2, then how you think. So in that way, you have to make that process in your mind. Now came to geography part. So geography, 8 to 9 questions are asked by UPSC from geography part. So very big chunk. 8 to 9 questions. Geography is linked with environment and disaster management. So these three subjects, environment, disaster management and geography, you have to study simultaneously because these three subjects are interlinkage. So what's the syllabus of geography? First, salient feature of world physical geography. Second, distribution of key natural resources across the world. South Asia, including South Asia and Indian subcontinent. So world, including South Asia plus India. Factor responsible for the location of primary, secondary, tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, including India. So world plus India. Third, important geographical phenomena such as earthquake, volcano, tornadoes, volcanic activity, cyclone. Geographical features and their location changes in critical geographical features include water bodies and ice cap. And in flora and fauna and the effect of such changes. So important geographical phenomena, earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc. And geographical features and their location changes in critical geographical features include water bodies and ice cap, and in flora and fauna and the effect of such changes. So let's see the PYQs. Now see, in 2023 monsoon and climate, question was asked on discuss the impact of changing monsoon patterns on Indian agriculture. On earthquake, why is the Himalayan region prone to earthquake? So in 2022, question was on Himalayan region. Why Himalayan region is prone to earthquake? So you have to prepare Western Ghats also. From urban geography, urban flooding is becoming frequent in India. Examine with examples. So question on urban flooding. So you have to prepare urban heat wave also. Oceanography, coral reef are facing a survival crisis. Comment. River and drainage, explain the concept of river rejuvenation and their importance. Question, you also prepare on river interlinkage. Also, resources, examine the significance of mineral belts in economic development. So, see in 2023, first question on Indian monsoon. Second was on the why is the eastern coast more vulnerable to cyclone comparable to western coast. What is the significance of river interlinkage? See, in India, examine with example. In 2022, why is the Himalayan region prone to earthquake? Urban flooding is becoming frequent in India. Discuss the influence of jet stream and western disturbances. So these are the broader things that you have to make notes on geography. Like in physical geography, you have to make notes on plate tectonics, earthquake, volcano, geography, now tornado also. Because in 2024 UPSC asked on twister. On climatology and monsoon, Indian monsoon, important. Jet stream, western disturbances, El Nino and La Nina. Oceanography, ocean currents, coral reef and marine resources. From drainage and river part, river system, river capture, floodplain management, river interlinkage. Urban geography, urban flooding, urban heat island, urban planning. And from economic geography part, mineral resources, industrial region, agroclimate zone. And on environment geography, natural hazard, disaster prone zone and climate. So these are the broader themes. On this, you have to make notes. Now, what sources you have to follow? NCRT, +1 and +2 NCRTs. For industry part, use any PDF only, because in +1, +2 NCRT, industry part is not well written. Now, see geography. In geography, you have to link current also. You have to write more examples in geography. So link current to enhance geography answer. Like Kerala landslide in 2021 was very much in news. So UPSC asked question in 2021 only on landslide. So solar maximum this year very much in news. So question was on auroras in this year. So now see 2024 questions. So in 2024, first question was what is the phenomena of cloud burst? So simple question, static question. So write with an intro, write definition of cloud burst, and then all phenomena of cloud burst and image, pictures also. Second question was on what is sea surface temperature rise and how does it affect the formation of tropical cyclone. So this is also a simple question. You have to write about the sea surface temperature rise, what is sea surface temperature rise and how does it affect the formation of tropical cyclone. Third question, what is a twister? So many people doesn't know this term, what is twister. So twister is tornado only. So what is twister? Why are the majority of twister observed in area around the Gulf of Mexico? Fourth question, what was the concept of demographic winters? Is the world moving towards such a situation? Elaborate. Fifth question, the groundwater potential of the Gangetic Valley is on the serious decline. How may it affect the food security in India? So question is about the groundwater potential of Gangetic Valley is on serious decline and how it affect the food security of India. So in this way, you have to make notes on geography, static plus current. So in geography, make notes on these themes. Add diagrams, flowchart. Like question was on cloud burst. So if you have to explain the phenomena of cloud burst, so you make flowchart. कि पहले ये होगा, then ये होगा, then ये होगा, and then finally cloud burst. Diagram, cloud burst, diagram, flowcharts, examples. So that's it. So hope this lecture helped you all. And now it is clear for you all that how to pursue GS1 paper. So thank you everyone. Hope you are studying well now. Happy learning.